Hi, I'm Phyllis from the Doll Corner, and welcome to everyone that's watching, and welcome to my new subscribers. I had a comment from a lady, and she was wondering how I put my little facings around the neck and the sleeves, armholes of my doll clothes. Well, I try to avoid them. I have had, they're so tiny and so hard to work with. I have done it, but I don't like doing it, so I avoid them as much as possible. The only time I would use them is if I was trying to do an old doll dress, copy an old doll dress exactly the way it was made. But the rest of the time I avoid them. So I'll show you what I do. I line most of my things. So I put my match up, move this out of the way so you can maybe see better. I match up my sleeves, put my linings, sew my lining and my fabric together separately. Line up the seam, the shoulder seam. And then I just stitch around here. Now if I wanted to make a sleeveless top, I would sew around the sleeve, the armhole, just like that. You can see how I've sewed here. That's the armhole, and around the neck. Now to get this to the right side, I take my lining or the fabric and just put it through at the sleeve. Sometimes it'd be kind of tricky if you don't have a very big doll. And then I pull this through to the right side. And then press it. And that is your finished sleeve or armhole. And the same with the neck. Now this is, if I was putting a sleeve in, I would just, I'll show you with this one, be easier to see. I pin this, or I'll just run a basting stitch along here so I can fit my sleeve in. But you can see how neat around the neck, and you don't have much bulk or anything. And then this will be brought over like this and pressed. And that's one way I like to do them. But if I want to just make a single thickness, either with knit or woven fabric, I will put a binding around the neck. And I'll show you how I do that. It's if it's knit, I will just take a piece of knit because it'll stretch. But if I'm doing a woven fabric, I cut it on the bias and then you get the stretch. I take about an inch piece of fabric on the bias. I sew it along the edge of the neckline. This is just a scrap of fabric. sew it along like that. Trim it really close, about a 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. Fold it over. Give it a press. And then stitch in the ditch right around the edge here. Then give it a press. This needs a press. And you can do that around the sleeve, the armholes as well. And if you're using knit, it works the same way. And then I take and I trim this off right close. I haven't got this trimmed yet, but I'll have to trim that. So that's how I avoid those tiny little facings. And it's very easy to do. So if you have any other questions, email me at dollfashion77@gmail.com. I'll leave a link below. And as I have done those little facings, but I only use them when I really have to, which is very, very seldom. So subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, email me if you have any questions, or if you'd like a doll bonnet pattern. I've got a free one out there for you if you just ask. And thanks for watching. Bye now.